everyone, to another episode of Keto Chat. I am your host, Carole Freeman. I am a certified nutritionist and creator of the Fast Track to Keto Success program. I am here today with, let's see if I don't butcher their names, the Keto Kookie dudes, Victor Macias and Kristoffer Quiaoit.
Hey, you did it.
Right. Hey, welcome guys. Where are you joining us from?
We're in Orange County, California, Anaheim Hills, right by our kitchen in Yorba Linda, California.
Awesome. So you guys been cooking cookies all day long?
Yep.
2 shifts a day, 6-7 days a week. It's been a
trying to catch up.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Well, for people who don't know Keto Kookie, which, you know, after Joe Rogan and all these other people have been talking about, how do people not know about you guys? But just, you know, tell us, like, what is Keto Kookie?
Yeah, so Keto Kookie is a low-carb, gluten-free cookie that has 3 net carbs for 2 cookies. And it's really, we created this for ourselves initially. And we wanted something sweet. And we're like, hey, let's make a cookie. And yeah, it's been awesome.
Do you have a little package you can show?
Oh, yes. So this is the cookie.
We can't travel without them anymore. We're just like fill our backpacks up with cookies everywhere we go now.
So they come packages, 2 per package, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how many flavors do you guys have currently?
So we have chocolate chip, snickerdoodle, double chocolate, and on a Kickstarter where we've just launched, we have peanut butter and birthday cake available as pre-order at the moment.
Ooh, cool. Okay. Well, we'll talk about your Kickstarter here in a little bit, but I want to get you guys' backstory. Like, how did you get on this keto kitten, all of us?
Yeah. So last year in January, I heard about the keto diet on a podcast. And they're talking with Dom D'Agostino, and it's like, oh, there's less inflammation, better energy, and you can lose fat. I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. I might as well give it a shot. Went on it, lost 8 pounds in 2 weeks. I wasn't trying to lose weight, but the main thing that I really got from it was the energy. I used to be a chronic napper. I used to nap every single day, at least once, sometimes twice a day. To the point where my
parents think you had something going on.
My parents said, hey, you should go see a doctor because, you know, you're just napping all the time. And when I went on keto, that all went away. And that was the thing that got me sticking to keto. It's like, hey, I can have more energy and do more stuff.
What was your, what was your diet like before? And were you like a really active guy or anything, or?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty active. I was pretty active, and I used to be a competitive basketball player.
Okay.
And, I would just carb load before practices, before games. And so I kind of got in that habit. I would eat burgers with the bun. I had a weakness for French fries, popcorn in the movies, donuts, everything. It was all carb. And I'm like, oh, I'm preparing for to go play basketball.
Right.
But it really, I really felt it. I didn't understand. I thought napping was just part of life.
Yeah.
And but in reality, is just these carbs were taking a toll on my energy and health.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
8 pounds must have been like all in the middle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So after I stopped playing basketball as much, it started creeping up. I'm like, okay, I don't have that college metabolism as I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the one that got me into keto. So we listened to the same podcast. He decided to give it a try. And for me, I in high school, I was the kid that was proud that I could eat a whole large pizza and nothing would happen. Oh, look. And while my friends would gain weight. And then I hit college and then introduced beer and just bad food. And I gained weight.
Okay.
I think at my heaviest, I was like 185, 186. I've lost about 40 pounds since being on keto.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And this was like the easiest. So I tried all these diets, right? I don't call this a diet anymore. I really call it a lifestyle. But, I would eat my emotions in a sense.
Okay.
So I would gain a lot of weight. And then with keto, it became the easiest, tastiest thing. And I I mean, it melted off. People looked at me like, holy crap, what happened to you? It just melted off.
You guys have some good before photos? Because we can like put them in right now.
Oh, I'll send some.
We'll send some.
Yeah. Well, through the magic of video editing, we'll get some before photos in here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have some pretty.
You have some pretty good ones. When you first started Keto Kookie,
I used to go to McDonald's and get a Big Mac and 2 cheeseburgers and fries like on a Monday.
Okay.
Wednesday would be like, oh, today's a Carl's Jr. day. You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, this just changed everything. The way I feel. Like the interesting thing is Chris's drive for it was the mental function. Mine at first, my drive for doing keto was the weight loss. But as I've been on it, my drive now is the mental function, and weight loss happens to be a side effect of it.
Okay.
That's really what's become addicting about it, at least.
And how did you guys meet?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we met like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
2012. So I was just starting my other business, a tutoring company. And there was he was part of the Small Business Development Center, actually the Youth Entrepreneurship Program. Yeah. So that was I'm no longer a youth.
Yeah, we don't qualify for that anymore.
And he was actually one of the coaches, and he had his own thing, you know.
Yeah, I had a men's lifestyle blog that I started when I was in college, and Chris actually came and won the competition.
Oh, cool.
Competition, he won it, and then out of everybody, we kind of connected the most, and we would meet up at coffee shops and work on our own individual businesses, because being an entrepreneur can be lonely, hard to relate. Yeah. So it was we'd meet at coffee shops and then did this keto thing and say, hey, why don't we try something together? And
yeah. So you guys shared about how keto's really impacted your own health for positive. Have you guys had like an impact on your families? Like, is the weight rippling out to other people in your family?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got my cousin into it, and he hasn't looked like this since probably high school, and he's going on 40. He lost probably about at least 40 pounds. He used to be very active, swimming all the time, doing yoga, and it just never fell off for him, the pounds. And this is what really got him over the top and really excited him. And he just felt more energy too. And then he started sharing with other people, his friends, and then it just became this snowball effect where everybody was like, hey, you look so good. You know, you look a lot better. What are you doing? And it's like, well, I'm eating more fat. And then it trips people out. But it's something that kind of hooks other people. So that's kind of what I've seen.
Yeah, like for me, so on one end, I used to try this. And people were like, we'll see. But when they saw the weight loss, they're like, what are you doing? So I got my brother-in-law, both of my brother-in-laws, some friends, and then recently I got my dad. My dad's 52 and he's jacked. Like he's in such good shape. And he was always, ever since I can remember, him and my mom always used to go to the gym and work out, and they were in good shape. But it wasn't until like he adopted keto and recently intermittent fasting that now he's like wearing cutoff shirts. It's just like melts off.
He's like flaunting it.
You got a shirtless selfie of your dad?
I'm not shirtless. But it's just one of those things where now people ask him what he's doing. And it's interesting to see just the snowball effect, like Chris said. Yeah. People lead by example. It's really the best way that you get other people to follow.
Yeah, for sure. That was one of the themes at KetoCon was just, that's going to be the best influence we can have, is just lead by examples, because people can see like how obviously healthy. Like, I don't know if you guys' families are saying this or not, and I've known you guys for a few months now, but your faces are just like, beautiful, clear skin. You guys look youthful and young and really healthy, right? And so it's really hard to argue, or if people see how healthy you look and vibrant you are, and the weight loss, and it's hard to argue that what you're doing is like unhealthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then you go get blood work done and the doctors are telling you it's going to be bad, and nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good too. Yeah. So like, all right, I don't know why, but this is really great. So.
Exactly.
The biggest thing is like how I feel. I guess I've been like lately, I just been trying to listen to my body more, and keto's really helped with that. And now I'm noticing like I feel a lot better when I eat certain foods and feel terrible when I eat other foods. But just that feeling, it's like, I don't want to sacrifice that for this, donut anymore. I don't want to feel bloated for the whole day
or crash for an hour after.
Or crash for an hour, and it's not worth it. So that's the thing, is just the feeling, the energy that I've gotten from it that I'm addicted to, I guess.
Well,
yeah.
And I noticed even like with keto, it's like you start to level up. So now keto is the norm, and like you're experimenting with cutting out dairy.
Yeah.
You know, so it's almost like once you know how good this feels, you get addicted to, okay, I wonder if I swap out something else.
Yeah.
How much better will I feel, or something else? And it's just like a game. I mean, it'd be really fun.
Well, and that's exactly what I found with my clients. I mean, I work with women that have struggled with their weight their entire life, and it really exactly what you're talking about is like keto becomes your baseline. It's like your base camp. Like you get that solid foundation, and you really do get that clarity to feel, this makes me feel good and that doesn't, and I can make a choice now. Whereas before it was always this compulsion to just keep feeding the carb beast inside of you, and you never had choices. You just felt terrible all the time and couldn't feel that. And so I love that. That's exactly what I'm seeing with my clients and everybody that I talk to about this, is they see, now I can experiment with this and I can try this, and I know really clearly, like the messages my body sends me are so clear now, and I can really listen to it. Like all those things they've told us to do, now I can actually do it.
It's like throwing sea salt in my water now, thanks to your advice.
That's been really helpful.
It's just such a game changer. I'm like, I'm drinking tons of water. It's not until you throw salt in there that you really notice the difference.
Right. Yeah. Very key. If you guys are watching, you're not doing salt, 1 or 2 teaspoons or more per day. Like that. The Salt Fix books is a really good one too. We'll plug that too. But they're not a sponsor of the show, but
but it's a good resource.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, so what was it like in the beginning when you guys were going from your former fast food diet to keto? Like, was it hard to wrap your brain around it? Was it hard to give up those foods? Was it easy? What was that like?
Yeah. I mean, the cravings were there, and I could feel my body like, oh, I need carbs for like the first, probably 3 days. And then the 4th day, it was the keto flu. I read about it, so I was preparing for it, and I didn't know what to expect. And it hit me pretty hard. And I had like a huge headache. I couldn't do any work. And then my heart was beating really hard. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like terrible. Maybe I should get off this thing.
Yay, you're on keto.
Yeah. And I was getting worried. I'm like, oh, maybe this is not the thing. And then I kept reading online. I was like, just wait it out. And, waited it out. And it passed. I felt amazing afterwards. And like almost immediately, I just stopped napping, which was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And I felt more calm too. So my anxiety levels went down. I mean, we have more things to stress us about than ever, but I just feel more zen. And it's not, there's no more of these up and downs, these mood swings that I used to get with carbs. So that's been a huge help.
And for me, the journey was a little different. I would like do a sprint, and then I would crash. And I would crash. So I would, again, if I was tired or stressed out, I would reach for the junk food, and I'd have to start over again. What ended up working for me the most was I ate the same thing for like 6 days a week.
Okay.
And I just stuck to what worked, and then that kind of helped me build the momentum.
So just keep it super simple, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what kind of helped me kind of long term with what we were trying to do. That, and then once I was hooked on that feeling of the energy and that calm, like I have 2 kids, I have 2 businesses. There's no way I could thrive and keep going with what I'm doing if it wasn't for keto.
Yeah. Cool. Well, and so then walk us down the journey of the inspiration for the cookie and how you developed all your first one.
You want to talk about your mom's kitchen?
Yeah. So we were like, what do we miss? And when we started, there wasn't a lot available. I mean, there are more snacks available now that I wish we had before, but before it's like, there isn't really much. So like, what do we miss? Cookies. So then we, okay, let's figure out how to make a cookie. So we go to Whole Foods, get all these ingredients, go to my mom's house, put on some aprons, and then start, baking out of her kitchen and trying these different recipes, and like, all right, let's let's see how we can what makes a delicious cookie. And none of us have any baking experience. Nope. Right?
I think it was the first time I ever baked in my life.
I think we turned bakers that day.
Oh my gosh, I wish there were photos of all the mistakes.
Oh yeah, I think we do have some photos. They came out with like blobs of like chocolate, and it's just it's quite an experience. And we we're like, okay, what makes a delicious cookie, and how do you make it keto? And that was the biggest thing for us in making a tasty keto cookie,
because we didn't start from a healthy cookie and work backwards. We started from what's a delicious cookie and how do we replicate that with ingredients that
okay.
That was really what was key to us.
And then we had friends, family try it, and like, hey, try this. And then afterwards, you say, hey, there's no sugar and it's gluten-free. Like, oh, okay.
I tricked you.
And I think the real key too was we had these cookies we were making at home, and I'm like, will anybody actually buy them or care to buy them? So we threw up this super simple website and like a picture of a regular chocolate chip cookie and a PayPal button.
Okay.
Like, anybody want this? And about 3 people bought.
Yeah.
And then a week later, 20 people. A week later, 50 people. We're like, okay, something's going on here. At that point, we were still buying all our stuff retail, so we were losing money on every order.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So we ended up pausing that. We're like, okay, then I think we need to launch a Kickstarter, do something in order to kind of get us to that next level.
Yeah. So that was we were really excited.
Yeah, it was great.
Because people were, we got some response from the community and a lot of feedback. So people were like, oh, you shouldn't use this sweetener. We're actually using chocolate chips with maltitol before we knew any better.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, we can't use that ingredient. It raises blood sugar. So like, all right, let's use something with erythritol instead. And then, and then so we're like, hey, we should see how people that are diehard really think about the cookies. And we went to Low Carb USA in San Diego.
We were so nervous.
Yeah.
That was your first one. Okay.
That was our first one. Yeah. And these are like the top scientists, the top people in the medical professional industry. And we're like, man, they're probably going to hate us. They're like, who are these guys bringing cookies?
People would avoid our booth. They would walk up and they would look at us and they would give us this like scowl.
Like a stink eye.
Like a stink eye, and then leave. Like,
we're like, what are these cookies doing here?
Yeah. And I think for me, the big part of that was somebody goes up to our table and they slam their hands on the table. We're like, oh, here it is. What's going on? And somebody shows us their like glucose monitor, and they're like, I had your cookies an hour ago, and look, and it was almost like a flat line. We're just like, wow. Right. And we're like, that's good.
Yeah. And the biggest thing that came out from that was, so we're at our booth, and this 6'4" bald head guy with muscles bulging out of his button-up shirt comes up to our table and he's like, you guys are my heroes. And we're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, my son has type 1 diabetes. We have him on a low carb diet, and now like I can finally put a cookie in his lunchbox. And I don't have to worry. And we got goosebumps. And then from that moment, when we initially started this for fun, and it just became so much bigger than that, especially when people like him shared their story. People like you.
Are you talking about RD?
Yeah, RD Dykeman. Yeah, I love that guy.
That was 2016 in San Diego, right? So
yes.
Yeah, I agree. His talk, like he had me in tears sharing his story with his son. Yeah. So I'm getting chills as you're talking.
No, it was amazing. It was at that point we look at each other after the conference. We're like, wow, like this truly felt bigger than ourselves. Like we've done other projects, other businesses, which were fun, but Keto Cookie became like, okay, we have like a bigger purpose, a bigger mission. And that's where, since then, that was a pivotal shift in our mind.
We got super excited because people shared a lot of their stories of how keto has impacted them. And for us, it was like, a little bit of weight loss, a little bit of energy. But for other people, it meant a lot more. It meant walking, when they used to have muscular dystrophy and couldn't walk. And then now they could run. I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. Yeah. And so as we heard people's stories, we bought more into the keto lifestyle and just helping the community. So
yeah. So I mean, that's been a pivotal point, and which kind of brings us to today, which is interesting.
Yeah. So you guys originally had the chocolate chip as your first one a year ago, and then you brought in the double chocolate, right?
Chocolate chip snickerdoodle, and then we launched double chocolate.
Okay. And so now you guys are ready to take this the next step, right? Like, so right now, what's like behind the scenes? What's your production system? Are you guys still making the cookies yourselves, or what's the?
So right now, we're working 6-7 days a week, 2 shifts a day. Every cookie is hand scooped, hand pouched, hand shipped.
Okay.
And it's been amazing. We had this talk with our community. We're like, hey, we're a little behind on orders. You know, if you guys want your money back, you know, please feel free. And people were like, we'll wait as long as it takes. We're like, wow, okay. So then that really took us to, our mission now has grown, and we want to grow the message of keto, which is why we decided to launch a Kickstarter, which we can talk about a little later. But we went on a crazy experiment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to talk. I'm ready to talk about the experiment.
Yeah.
So we wanted to put our cookies to the test, and we decided that for 2 weeks we were going to get off keto. And when we say get off, I'm talking about like old levels of eating like crap. Right?
It's torture.
It was torture. It's like, okay, if you've ever seen those like TV shows or movies where the little kid picks up a cigarette and the parents make him smoke the whole pack. That's how I felt. I was like force feeding myself. I don't want, please. I don't want it anymore. And then we decided to, okay, we're going to do a 7-day experiment where we eat nothing but keto cookies, water and coffee, and some salt. And it was 16 cookies a day, 1,800 calories, and we learned a lot about ourselves.
Yeah. So by day 3, right?
I got keto flu. So by day 3, I love our cookies. I couldn't stand having cookies anymore. And by day 3, I got keto flu bad. I mean, I was shaking. And Chris over here all jolly and happy. I'm like, what? We're eating the exact same thing. What the heck is going on?
But it's because I listened to you and bought that salt and started putting it in my water and just made sure I had enough electrolytes. And so I was feeling great. I'm like, Victor, you need to add electrolytes.
Yep.
So, and then you did, and it made things a lot better. Day 5, we tested our ketones, so our blood. We've never tested it before, so that was interesting and also scary at the same time, as we weren't sure. Like, can we get into ketosis eating just these cookies? And it's like, what if we don't? You know?
Like we were filming it. So what happens if we don't?
Yeah. So then we tested. You're at 2.8 millimolars, and then I was at 3.1.
Wow.
And we're like, yes, we high-fived each other. And we were just excited because I mean, for those of people that aren't familiar with the level, that's around like 3 is around like therapeutic levels, right?
Yeah. Usually most people have to be fasting to get to that level. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like we were fasting, just eating cookies.
Except you got to eat cookies.
Yeah.
Exactly. My strategy shifted. At first it was how can I cram as many as I can and then spread out the rest? Then it was like, let me just split them out throughout the day. And then it just became, how do I mix up all the flavors to keep getting that variety? Like, we were going to the fair, and like my friends are eating like huge corn dogs and deep fried Twinkies, and I was just eating my keto cookies.
You guys, this is gonna go crazy. Like, you guys are gonna have now like the keto diet induction pack, right? Like, they
might not want to buy another keto cookie again.
Oh no.
No, because at day 7, we're just like, only a few more cookies left. Only a few more cookies. Because it's kind of hard to have something sweet on your palate all day long.
Okay, yeah.
And we were just craving something savory. Like, I walked into my apartment and my wife was making chicken. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it smells so good.
My daughter was having scrambled eggs with salt. My mouth was salivating. I'm like, oh, eggs. It was definitely a learning experience. Will we do it again? Nope. Happy we did it though. It was really cool.
Yeah, and it's, it's a technique I know from psychology of, like, palate fatigue and just kind of an aversion therapy. So, that's always been a little bit of my concern with my clients, is that like these cookies are so delicious, will they be able to ever stop eating them? And so maybe that's a little like a technique I can use with them if they order them and feel like
or they order too much.
Eat them for 7 days in a row, and then they'll be like, I can moderate it now. I can have these occasionally. And
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, so that led into our next phase, which is the Kickstarter we're launching now, but it's again for a higher purpose. You want to jump in?
Yeah, so we want to get people that are not on keto into keto. And we saw this as an opportunity to use this Kickstarter as a megaphone. So there are like 55 million people that go on Kickstarter looking for projects. And what's cool is our project is the most popular food one in the Kickstarter. And so this gives us an opportunity like, hey, you can eat a cookie and follow the ketogenic diet. And so that's what we're trying to do is rally up everybody in the ketogenic community, and also get people that are not on keto into actually just being interested in and curious about what it is.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, how do we reach the mainstream audience while still serving our core, which got us here, right? So we're trying to highlight the benefits of a ketogenic diet, and then once you get in deeper, learning about why keto is unique and what keto is. And so far, I mean, it's worked. We got funded in under 5 hours.
What?
Yeah.
So your big mission is to get the word out and get more people on board and healthy. But what's your kind of business goal? Like, what was this going to fund for you guys?
Yeah. So it was going to help us move into bigger manufacturing. Like we said, we're hand scooping everything. And this will help us kind of make cookies faster than people can order them. Right now, we're 2 to 3 weeks behind on orders. And everything is self-funded. So we don't have any outside investing. So this has been great. We've gotten a lot of support from the ketogenic community to really grow this thing. And
so that's the business goal, and being able to do that will allow us to drop prices, have more flavors, deliver faster.
Okay.
And in terms of creating a movement, we haven't talked about it anywhere else.
Oh,
so
we could spill the beans here.
Spill the beans. Okay. So we keep asking ourselves, like, how do we focus, right? What's our big purpose to spread awareness of the ketogenic diet? So something that we're going to be launching within the next couple of days as a part of our Kickstarter campaign is hashtag I Am Keto.
Okay.
So, we're going to get some cool red rings that are bold, and that people that are on this mission are encouraged to tell their story. So right now, if I know somebody else is keto, it's because I'm looking at what they're having for lunch, right? So
are they on keto?
Yeah, are you?
I think they're on keto. Yeah. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I should ask.
So what we're hoping for is, how can we have people that we respect in the industry share their story and almost make a statement, kind of like Live Strong, but for keto. So we want it to be a ring, a nice red silicone ring that kind of makes a statement and kind of starts the conversation. We're not looking to profit from these rings. We're going to offer them for $2. Anybody that backs $2 or more on our Kickstarter will get a ring. But it's like, this is more of a symbol of what keto means and what keto can become.
Yeah, it's like it's a symbol for the story. Everybody has a story, and it'd be cool for everybody to share that story. I think that's one thing that has been successful thus far. And if more people do it, the people that are in the keto closet, if they come out and like, hey, this is how it changed my life. And I'm not telling you how to eat. This is what's done. And hopefully that'll inspire other people to get into that as well. So it's really to generate this conversation about keto. And we think, we believe the rings would be a good way to, one, identify other people, but also use it as a conversation starter. Like, oh, what is that ring that you're wearing? Like, I'm on this keto diet, and it's helped me lose 100 pounds, and I'm able to get off all these medications because of this of what I've been eating.
Yeah. Wow, you guys, that's huge. That's so cool. And I mean, it's just really impressive that you guys have been so inspired by the community to take this even bigger than you ever imagined it was going to be. And you're right. Like, living that and being that example and starting that conversation with people is going to be really powerful. And then you probably also recognize that, I mean, we know because we're in this community together, like how supportive and connected we all are. And, you know, we end conferences with hugs and gosh, I can't wait to see you guys again. But that's one of the things that, you know, is an obstacle for a lot of people trying to start it on their own, is that lack of community. And so the more people that we can get that are trying this and supporting each other and talking about it, people won't feel so alone. And as we've changed the food landscape that's out there as well to be more supportive of this, we can actually, you know, help people stay on track and stick with it rather than just falling back into those old habits. So it's great. Exciting.
Thank you.
It means a lot to hear that from you. I mean, because this is nothing without the community. So that's the only way that this is going to grow and become something. Yeah,
for sure. Wow. Okay. So if I'm understanding right, you guys had like one Kickstarter and this is another one, or is it still the same? Okay.
So our first Kickstarter got us out of Chris's mom's kitchen into a commercial kitchen where we would pay by the hour.
Right. Okay.
We were able to grow to finally have our own commercial kitchen. It's very cramped. And now this is to allow us to be able to, I mean, business term, but to be able to scale, to be able to offer the cookies to more people. Like a lot of people are asking about retail, or they're asking about Amazon. Like the only way we can really offer these to more people is if we're able to multiply and grow. And this will help us do that.
So you said, and this is the one though that was funded in 5 hours?
Yeah.
So it's still open though, right? So people.
It's still open. Yeah, definitely. And it's still open, and, you know, we want to get as much people involved in this as possible. And even if it's like just to get the rings, it's just $2 for the rings and just to pay for the shipping and to make the ring.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the closing date on this? This video is going to be out there forever in the world. So what's the, we're talking about, what's the closing date? Is it like
October 12th? October 12th, 2017 is last day of the campaign.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll link that in the show notes down below so you guys can get in on getting a I Am Keto ring. And if you want to get in on, you guys have a couple of flavors that are exclusive to the Kickstarter as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We like to tease people. So, peanut butter and birthday cake are 2 exclusive flavors that you can only order through the Kickstarter. You can still go to our site to get regular flavors, but these link to Kickstarter.
Cool. Nice. Awesome. Wow. Well, so gosh, I would, you know, was thinking about asking you guys, like, what's your bigger vision? But we've already been there. So the other thing I want to point out too is that the quality of the ingredients you guys are using are just phenomenal. So there's a lot of, you know, products coming out in the market, and one of my greatest fears of, you know, the consumer side and all the product excitement. We've got a lot of companies that are like, keto's hot and popular, we're going to make all these things, and very quickly that devolves into, like, you know, the cheapest ingredients possible that we can get out there. And then, you know, when you get really refined, processed, cheap ingredients, it's not actually ketogenic, right? Like it's maybe on the surface because the macros fit or something like that. But we've got things like, you know, maltodextrin, for example, that technically, you know, if you keep the carb amount low enough, it could, you know, look like keto. But those of us who really know understand, and like you're talking about with the maltitol as well, like there are things that are just not ketogenic, even though on paper they might look like that. So I just want to, you know, you guys know this, but I just want to applaud you to everybody who's watching this, that, you know, the quality of ingredients you guys use, I mean, that's why they are ketogenic, is because you are, you know, you're not scrimping on the quality of all that. And it really matters. And so, you know, as we move into this time where keto is just going to be so popular, one of my biggest fears, though, is that we're going to get all these really crappy products out there, and they're not actually going to be, and so either people are just going to be adding them to what they're already terrible diet, they're not losing any weight or not getting healthy, or they're going to eat those and it's not also going to be very health promoting because they're not really high quality ingredients, and then it will be like, well, that didn't work, I tried that diet and I didn't get healthy, and it's just one more fad. Like, that's my biggest fear right now, is just the bad food products that are going to be coming out. So I applaud you guys for having such great, you know, quality control and standards for your ingredients, because that's not what people are going to see in most things out there.
Thank you so much. And I mean, people like you are going to be doing a lot of the education around these ingredients. And so that's really going to help educate people, like, oh, you should probably stay away from maltodextrin, stay away from these things.
Yeah.
So the more we can educate people on these ingredients, the more they can make better choices. So, I mean, thank you for being a huge part of that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like that's really, it's the education where everything's going to come, because we can't control what's going to come into the market, but we can control how people are educated, how they perceive them. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, within the community, you've got just tons of fans. So we just get to get the word to even more people. So, gosh, what else have we not covered, you guys? Is there anything else you guys were hoping we'd talk about, or you were hoping I'd ask you about?
Well, I mean, I love the opportunity to connect with people like you, like even going to KetoCon. I think KetoCon was great. It was the first ever of its kind, and we're going to see year after year how it's going to be evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's more of a comment, but I like where keto is going. We felt so much love and warmth when we got into this industry. It isn't like there's other businesses where you don't feel that. Here, like, yeah, come on, let's go. Let's help you. Let's give you resources. And it's more of, we try to practice gratitude, like as a habit in our company. So we always, when we're talking, we just want to say, thank you, Carole, for all of the love and the support. Thank you to the community. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't be here without you guys. So every day we're like pinching ourselves. Wow, people are commenting on the cookies. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's so true, because they're at KetoCon at the end of it. And I'm, been to these low carb and keto conferences, and they do all end like we're all just one big happy family, and we're all hugging each other. And same thing was happening at the end of KetoCon. And there was a lady there that was commenting. She says, like, I'm a photographer, and I go to all these photography conferences, and none of them ever end with anybody hugging each other. Connections are a big deal. So, and I was at a different event conference a couple of weekends ago, and yeah, it was like, wait, where's all the hugs and connection?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on? I thought all of them are supposed to be like this.
I know, like, conferences aren't that fun. No.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been awesome. Everybody's just been very welcoming, and we're trying to do the same with other people that are, new to all of this. The biggest thing that I guess for people that are listening to this, that I would want them to get is just keep sharing your stories. The stories are so powerful. You
Use the hashtag I Am Keto.
Nice plug.
Sorry, I gotta do it.
But I mean, we can tell people how to eat, but it's really the stories that are really powerful and what get people to change.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can do that more often, and empower other people, inspire other people with those stories, we can definitely get more people on board with this ketogenic diet.
Yeah, wonderful. Awesome. Well, you guys, this has been awesome. I got one final question for both of you. It's your last day on the planet. The meteor's coming. We're all getting wiped out today. What's your final meal?
Oh my God.
That's a good one. I'm a burger guy. I love burgers. It would be from this place in Las Vegas called the Burger Bar. It's in Luxor in the Mandalay Bay, and I would get a Kobe beef with bacon and a fried egg and cheddar cheese, lettuce wrapped.
It's like the $100.
That'll be my last. I have to fly to Vegas and then do it, but anyway.
Yeah, no, you got time. You know it's coming, so you can fly real quick. And
yeah, I would have a Wagyu steak with truffles on it. We're going with truffles.
Nice meal. Gotta
make it good. I would probably, since I wouldn't have to do keto because the world is ending. I would probably just stick some fries in there and nap till the end of the world.
There you go. Smart strategy.
Yeah, you might as well be numbed out when you finally come out. That's awesome. You guys, thank you so much. This has been awesome, and thank you for the work that you're doing, and thank you for the inspiration to take this to the level that you are, and taking all this love and passion for the good of the world, and And that it's really inspiring what you guys are doing. So thank you so much for being here. I so love this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If you guys like this video, give us a thumbs up. Come on, you gotta love what these guys are doing, right? And subscribe if you want to see more of these interviews. And go out there and hashtag the world I Am Keto, right? So
yes,
share it all over. Let's make this movement happen. So that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.